Hi and Assalamualaikum. Today our group will present about the Sime Darby Berhad. So let's begin with me. My name is Farah Atika binti Shamsuddin. My matric number is 250848. Now I will present the introduction part. For introduction, risk management involves understanding, analyzing, and addressing risks to ensure the organization achieves their objective. If the organization have a better risk management, the stakeholder will have higher confidence on the organization corporate governance and their ability to deliver product and service. So this project will give us an opportunity to apply risk management knowledge that we had acquired or discussed in class to the real world organization. Organization that we choose for this group project is Sime Darby Berhad. So to sum up, in this report, we will apply our study on risk management by preparing a complete report that is related to assessment of risk.
So now I will explain on the company background. Darby was founded in 1910 by William Middleton Sime, Henry Esther Darby, and Herbert Markle Darby in Malacca. Darby consists of three different entities, which is Darby Plantation, Darby Property, and the company that we have chosen in this group project is Darby Berhad, which consists of Darby Industrial, Darby Motors, Darby Logistics, and Darby Healthcare. The vision of this company is to be the leading motors and industrial player in Asia Pacific. Their mission consists of developing a winning portfolio of sustainable business, deliver superior financial returns through operational excellence and high performance standards, subscribe to good corporate governance and high ethical values, and last but not least, to provide an environment for their people to realize their full potential. So Darby Berhad consists of four core values, which is the integrity, where they uphold high level of personal and professional values in all of their business interactions and decision-making interactions. Next is on the respect and responsibility, where they respect the individuals that they interact with and the environment that they operate with. Next is on the excellence, where they stretch the horizons of growth, unwavering ambition to achieve outstanding personal and business results. And last but not least is on the enterprise, where they seek and seize the opportunity with speed and agility, challenging set boundaries.
Next, I will present on the four types of internal environment of the company related to the risk management implementation. The first one will be on the integrity and ethical value of the organization, where the organization focused on presenting strong financial report to the stakeholders in order to maintain the good name of the company. The second one will be on the undergoing maturity assessment in order to identify the most relevant issues as to ensure the sustainability and continuity of the business. Whereas the third one will be on forming risk management committee in order to perform oversight of enterprise-wide risk management, implementation, supporting division in risk assessment and risk monitoring as an initiative. Whereas the fourth one will be on developing risk management blueprint and practicing it by the group to formalize 5-year roadmap. In regards to the risk management blueprint, the mission of this is to be used during the decision-making process, which is divided into two: critical success factor and key, medium to longer term priorities. In critical success factor, it has 5 types, where the first one will be on risk capability and awareness, which is used to build strong risk-centric culture. The second one will be on framework, policy and guideline, which is involved in systematic implementation of risk management framework. The third one is system and processes, which is vigorous system and process are formed. The fourth one will be on organizational resilience, to build the resilience and sustainability as respond to disruptions during crisis or disaster. The fifth one will be on tools and techniques, where innovative tools are and was used for more effective risk assessment. The next one will be on key, medium to longer term priorities, which is setting training and educations, risk awareness programs, enhancements of risk management framework, monitoring processes, enhancements of business continuity management programs. Explore new techniques for the risk qualifications and analysis in order to maintain the good name and business performance of the company.
So hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Aisha, and today I would like to talk about objective setting and strategies in achieving the objective of the Sime Darby Berhad company. So what the vision of this company is, they want to become a leading motors and industrial player in Asia Pacific. The first strategies that they do, which is revenue enhancement, what they do is they increase sales for industrial divisions from infrastructure and mining recovery, new product cycles in the industrial and automotive industry. Second is asset connected as enables to improve and protecting the market share. Third is a rise in sales, replacement part or spare part, and after sales service in the industrial automotive industries and the selling of used or second-hand car. The second strategies of Sime Darby Berhad is cost optimization. They excellent in operation to strengthen resilience down cycle through a uniform, automatic, robotic process, procurement control, Lean Six Sigma, and among others. Second is focus plans for reverse performance in the lacking business unit. Third is explore operational efficiency through the technology. Next is the third strategies, which is non-core asset monetization. So what they do is disposal on non-core business to upgrade the portfolio and realization of cash. A second is a rationalization review of underperforming companies across industrial and motors division. So what they achieve from this is SDI has disposed of Sime Darby Industrial Power Systems in Berhad for 16.5 million as part of ongoing rationalization of non-core asset and business in 2018. Move on to the fourth strategies, which is expansion of organic business. The first one is expansion on the adjoining business at the segment of industry for overcome the cycles to increase the income profile. Second is extension or expansion of the automatic assemble capacities to current Asian partners and development of new market for local market and export market. Next strategies of SDB company is expand healthcare. What they do is expanding the healthcare business through operation excellence, maximizing the asset and mergers and acquisition. Second is improve product and service quality and improve patient volume. The last strategy that Sime Darby Berhad do is mergers and acquisition synergy, where they exploring potential opportunities to reflect on representing existing product or brands. They also explore opportunities for industrial and automotive parts business growth and leverage of technological innovation.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Asna binti Muhammad Nafia 250822, and I will present part C, which is the impact of risk on Darby objective, mission, and vision. In order to achieve their objective to grow and deliver sustainable value to their stakeholder through a good operational and good high performance standard and also good corporate governance, they might face a risk in terms of strategic operation. The impact might occur in their business is operational inefficiency. Operational inefficiency can impact on their profit, and operational inefficiency also can lead competitive risk to Darby. Because nowadays their competitors are always competing for competitive advantage. And if Darby unable to maintain operational efficiency, they may increase their competitor and also they might face competitive risk. Competitive risk represent risk because competitors rapidly improve their product and service. And in addition, Darby also face fixed price competition and innovative product offerings from their competitors. The competition remain fixed for their product and service offerings across business. For example, the cheaper part of product offerings by its competitors will give a huge impact to industry business of Darby.
Now let's move to question D. Question D is about risk appetite statement, risk management structure, and framework. First, for risk appetite statement, to put simply, a risk appetite statement is the amount and type of risk that an organization is willing to take in order to meet its strategic objective. Risk appetite statement is the level of risk that Sime Darby Berhad established, which provide the guidance on the nature and extent of risk that the group is willing to accept in order to achieve its strategic objective. So the board of Sime Darby Berhad had determined the risk appetite and tolerance of group, and they also made sure that it is properly communicated across the group. They also developed a risk appetite framework. So this is the risk appetite framework. For risk appetite framework, GRM is the one who developed the risk appetite framework. This framework is to guide the formulation and implementation of risk appetite statement. For second is risk management structure and framework. Sime Darby Berhad provide greater certainty and trust to all the stakeholders by understanding and manage the risk, because successful risk management may be the sources of competitive advantage. Besides, the board of Sime Darby Berhad had established the risk management framework. The risk management framework involves systematically to identify, analyze, evaluate, manage, and monitor significant financial and non-financial risks. Sime Darby Berhad also established the Enterprise Risk Management Framework (ERM) framework. The ERM framework is for day-to-day business activity and management decision.
So now we'll proceed with question E, involving the significant risks faced by Sime Darby Berhad. So from the annual report, we determine the materiality matrix, which indicate the influence of stakeholders' assessment and decision making. The first one is on the quality and customer satisfaction. This is one of the pillars of Sime Darby Berhad corporate strategy. There are key areas which works to reach the maximum customer satisfaction. In maintaining a high-level customer satisfaction, Sime Darby focus on quality improvement and feedbacks so that the product and services provided meet the standards of their clients. As for the occupational health and safety, Sime Darby operates its business which involve highly risk exposures such as hazard risk and operational risk. Therefore, they need to maintain a safe working environment to prevent any fatalities and injuries incurred. And next is the business growth performance cyclical market. This involves the cyclical nature of mining, oil and gas industry, in which there is significant fluctuation in consumer spending within those industries. The next is on the business growth and performance regarding US-China trade conflict. Sime Darby were exposed to macroeconomic risks and competitive risks. This is due to the uncertainty in global economic factor and regulatory changes. For example, there is restriction on coal imports from Australia, which resulted from the trade conflict. Next is on the foreign exchange risk. The company need to deal with foreign exchange risk, includes transaction risk, translation risk, and economic risk. From the annual report, Sime Darby Industrial were exposed to foreign exchange risk in all territories through an inventory purchase in USD. For the key principle, there are two key principles held by Sime Darby, which is the first one is on the performance of Caterpillar and BMW. So if this key principle fails to meet the expectation of the principal, therefore they are going to end their contract with the key OEM. There is also risk in loss or dismissal of their principal's dealership, which will bring them into financial risk. Next is on the technology innovation impact of technology disruption. This expose company to the risk of disintermediation, where company have an increase in burden to continue or pursue this strategy. Company may have to indicate more resources, such as investing in IT infrastructure. business ethics and compliance. This is where the company were exposed to the management risk and regulatory risk. Companies shall ensure that business activity is compliant with law and regulations to reduce or mitigate these management risk and regulatory risk. Next is on the fair employment practices. This is where the risk of workplace culture. In order to mitigate this risk, companies are going to have a fair with diversified workforce. The number 10 is on the employee training and development. This is where companies were exposed to the risk of lacking in expertise to pursue strategy. The next one is on the data privacy security, risk of IT security breach. So there is high tendency or high risk exposure on fraud and theft of information happen within. The next is on the cash flow and funding, where growth initiative given rise to significant capital expenditure and cash flow requirement. This is where the company realized that they are highly exposed to the financial risk. And next is on the waste and influence management, where companies were exposed to environmental risk, therefore they need to manage their waste properly. For the contribution in community and development, this is where they have a positive effect to the local communities. And for the next one is on the energy and carbon management. This is where the proper management of energy efficient and carbon emission takes place. And the last but not least is on the water management, where the proposed program on water consumption and conservative for the benefits of the environment as well.
Is on assessing the acceptability of those identified risks by comparing them with organization appetite and criteria. Acceptability level is divided into three: low, moderate, high, and high. Whereas risk appetite also divided into three: high, medium, and low. Usually, when the level of risk is high, the level of acceptability will be low. Moreover, we still have to look into types of risk which is relevant to the business operation or not. Here we have 5 types of risk, which is quality and customer satisfaction, occupational health and safety, business growth and performance, cyclical market, business growth and performance, US China trade conflict, business growth and performance, foreign exchange risk, which has high risk with low acceptability. This is because it is directly relevant to the business process, and the company has to take the risk in order to achieve a strategic objectivity. The second one will be types of risk is involved is technology and innovation, business ethics and compliance, fair employment and practices, employee training and development, diversity and equal opportunity, data privacy and security, where the risk medium with medium moderate acceptability. This is because these types of risk may affect the company performance. Still, the company can be able to handle or minimize the risk with alternative solutions and proper strategic. On the low risk with high acceptability, where it has 3 types of risk, which is community contribution and development, energy and carbon management, and water management. Over here the level of risk is very low, therefore the acceptability level should be high, because this will help to increase the good name of the management and company.
Now, I want to tell about the technique that we use to identify and analyze the risk factor in the SDB company. We have used 3 techniques, which is SWOT analysis, brainstorming, and documentation review. In SWOT analysis, we have looked at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats of the SDB company. The strengths, we look at the areas within the SDB company that is advantageous to the company. Second is weaknesses, which is we look at the areas within the company that can be improved. Third is opportunities, external factors that can potentially improve the company. And the last one is threats, which is potential risk from the external factors that can do damage. The second technique is brainstorming. If all group members clearly specify and understand the objective, the brainstorming session based on the members' creativity is used to generate risk list, which is in this project required to have at least 15 significant risks. Brainstorming as a method of problem solving that is less time provide a considerable range of ideas. This technique includes the identification of problem, the creation of ideas, the introduction of development of short-term solution to ensure that this project is completed in possible time. The third technique is documentation review. The common method of risk identification are collecting data by reviewing the project-related document that we have analyzed the annual report of the Sime Darby Berhad. The analysis cover record from past business plans, activities, objective, contracts, and other information stored. This technique needed us to collect background of the information to identify and understand the new business probabilities and uncertainty. Besides, this review helps to recognize the strengths and weaknesses of the company and understand the company's history and ideology of the business.
Next question is risk matrix. There are three levels included in risk matrix, which is low, medium, and high. For the background color is referred to high risk. High risk have a significant impact on their business if their business fail or mitigate the risk. In order to eliminate risk, there are strategies that can implement by Darby, which is succession strategy. Succession strategy is depend on circumstances that faced by Darby, and also it depend on a decision made by Darby. For yellow background is referred to medium risk. The risk that include in this section is community contribution and development. Second, energy and carbon management. Okay, for these risks are acceptable. But for every threat to its development must be monitored periodically. With the following consideration are the necessary steps to be taken. And for the green color background is referred to low risk, which is this risk only include one risk, which is water management. Okay, the profitability of the risk occurring is low compared to the medium and high risk. Okay, low risk also can classify as acceptable risk in the business. This risk level can be used with non-threat. However, threat must be monitored to identify changes that may increase to this risk level.
For question I, give an appropriate response toward identified risk. Identified risk can be treated by a different type of risk treatment, and risk treatment can be divided by 4: accept, manage, transfer, and avoid. So for the risk that we identify in Sime Darby is 60 risks. So for the first risk is quality and customer satisfaction. Sime Darby accept this risk because it is vital to know the customer needs in order to satisfy and to keep them loyal. Second is occupational health and safety. Sime Darby also accept this risk because the company should take proactive measures were taken over in preventive facilities injuries and occupational illness. And third is business growth and performance cyclical market. Sime Darby manage this risk because Sime Darby has established a downturn strategy. And fourth, business growth performance. US-China trade conflict. Sime Darby also should manage this risk because Sime Darby together with Caterpillar is working on strategy in order to maintain its position in the market. Next is business growth and performance forex exchange risk. Sime Darby also manage this risk by two ways, in short term and long term. And next is a business growth performance key principle. Sime Darby also manage this risk because if the performance of this key principle fails to meet the expectation, the company will lose contract with key OEM partner. Next is impact of technology disruption. Sime Darby also should manage this risk, and to manage this risk, the company have developed the business transformation initiative such as develop new product offering. And next, business ethics and compliance. Sime Darby accept this risk because the company comply with all applicable local and cross-border regulatory and policy requirements. Next, fair employment practice. Sime Darby manage this risk because the diversity and inclusion embraced by Sime Darby through initiatives such as integrating know-how and experience across division. Next, employee training and development. Sime Darby manage this risk by giving training to its employee in order to enhance their capability. Next, risk of IT security breach. Security breach is like fraud, misbehavior, and in order so Darby should avoid this risk. In order to avoid this risk, Darby should protect their data by enhancing their security. Next, cash flow and funding. Darby may accept this risk and they manage this risk. The company should find a strategy such as introduce the blueprint, establish a group policy and authorization. And next is waste and influence. Sanabi avoid this risk because to reduce waste. And next, community contribution and development. Sanabi Berhad involved in helping a better society and to ensure that its activity have a positive effect to local communication. So that Sanabi accept this risk. Energy and carbon management. Sanabi avoid this risk. And lastly, water management. Sanabi manage this risk by implement internal control and monitor the mechanism in order to manage the water consumption. So that's
As for this question J, we suggest Sam Darby to recognize any limitation of their risk assessment. This is due to the correlation between potential risks, which are complex to describe, and critical data, which are often absent. Considering the risk residual resulted from the limitation in assessing risk, therefore, taking measurement of risk assessment further will enhance the efficiency of risk management. With the implementation of risk management blueprint emphasizing the key success factors, prioritized required as effective risk management is important for the groups. Therefore, it is good if SAMW continue to evaluate the effectiveness of risk management. The final measure is important for the risk management committee to evaluate the effectiveness of such program, determine the control mechanism is within the program, and adapted to keep practicing an effective risk management.
Finally, I will be presenting on the conclusion part, where as a conclusion we can see that Sime Berhad risk management and internal control system has operated adequately and effectively throughout all these years. This has been proven through their yearly risk assessment practices, which shows that Sime Berhad is well managing the business performance as to safeguarding shareholders' investment as well as stakeholders' interest in their company. This shows that company is concerning on their shareholders and stakeholders' interest and well-being. In regards to this, risk management is the practice of identifying potential risks in advance, analyzing them, taking precautionary steps in order to reduce or cut down those all involved risks in order to enhance the business performance. Whereas in regards to this, the management has organized enterprise risk management framework in order to focus on its core business operation for the entire group. That's all from me. Thank you.